Our Wedge Project by Casey Hendrickson and Emily Hendrickson.
The 8 wedges we chose were increased transport electricity, increased building efficiency, efficiency in electricity production, CCS hydrogen, wind electricity, solar electricity, biofuels, and forest storage. Each wedge over a period of time should prevent 1 billion tons of CO2 from getting into the atmosphere. This would keep the carbon dioxide emissions at a stable level, rather than it increasing to environmentally dangerous proportions.
Our first wedge is transport efficiency. The idea of transport efficiency is to increase the amount of miles per gallon you can get out of a vehicle on gasoline. By increasing the miles per gallon to an average of 60 miles per gallon instead of 30 miles per gallon, would save 1 billion tons of carbon dioxide from emitting into the atmosphere. A challenge to this would be the car size. Cars would have to be smaller to get more miles per gallon out of them.
The second wedge we chose is building efficiency. This consists of making homes and other buildings more energy efficient in aspects such as insulation and lighting. If we were to cut all of the emissions from homes and buildings by 25%, this wedge would be complete. It is even predicted that 50% could be reached. However, there is an issue concerning the sizes of homes and buildings because the bigger they are, the more energy they take to heat and to cool.
Wedge number 3 is dedicated to the efficiency in electricity production. To do this, we need to focus on the 65% of electricity production that produces carbon emissions. Coal usage would specifically be an area to target. For example, raising the efficiency of plants would be a great option. The only downfall to that would be increased plant costs.
Fourth, we have the CCS hydrogen wedge. CCS stands for carbon capture and storage. Fossil fuels are made up of primarily carbon and hydrogen. We are able to take the hydrogen out to use as power, and it would only create water vapor as an emission. However, we would have to capture and store the carbon we take out initially. To do this, new infrastructure is needed, which could stand as an obstacle, as well as taking safety measures with the hydrogen. But we only need to produce 10 times of hydrogen energy as we currently do now.
For wedge number 5, we chose wind electricity. Wind electricity is currently increasing by 30% each year, and if we added 1 million new windmills to the current collection we have, we could produce 1 wedge of wind power. However, this would roughly take up a space the size of Germany, but agriculture can also be put in the area.
Solar electricity is our 6th stabilization wedge chosen. To fill this wedge, we would need enough photovoltaic cells to cover the entire state of New Jersey. Photovoltaic cells convert sunlight into electricity. This is renewable energy and carbon dioxide free. Although this is a great concept and the idea of getting enough PV cells comes at a price, which happens to be very expensive.
Our 7th wedge is dedicated to biofuels. Biofuels are plants like sugarcane and corn used as energy. The wedge we need would come from multiplying the ethanol production for biofuels we use now by 12 times. A problem with biofuels is the fact that it will take up a good amount of land.
Last but not least, our 8th wedge is for forest storage. This means instead of carbon being in the atmosphere, it would be held within and used by trees and other plants in the forest. 2 options to doing this are by planting enough trees to cover the continental U.S., or to stop deforestation for 50 years. Again, an issue with this is space. Taxpayers and consumers would rate us at 3 because of the slight alterations to their lifestyle as well as the cost, but they will thank us for their healthy future. Energy companies will give us a 3 because they will not be happy with some of the prices, but they would be able to broaden their spectrum of product capabilities and services. Environmental groups would most likely give us a 5 because of how beneficial our wedge plan is for the world and environment. Although there would be minor setbacks and struggles, this is exactly what environmentalists are looking for. Although there will be a cost, this would be a great way for manufacturers to create business while making all these new products and improving old ones, swaying them to give us a 3. Industrialized country governments would give us a 4 because this is a change that they would most likely be able to afford and would be pleased with the improved earth. Developing country governments would not like this alteration in energy because they would not be able to afford it. Although it would be beneficial to the whole world, they would suffer the most economically, leaving us at the lowest rating, which is a 2.